Fox 61 News at 10 starts now.
I've seen a lot of resilience in this community of people that want to pick themselves up and they want to get their communities back on their feet.
Now at 10, cleanup is underway in Florida and South Carolina after being hit with Storm Ian. We're getting a closer look of the impacts tonight. Plus, police are searching for a suspect they believe is connected to a string of robberies in several communities. What we know about the incidents. Plus, the first day of October brings new laws to the state. We're breaking them all down for you. The Fox 61 News at 10 starts right now. Good evening and thanks for joining us for the News at 10. I'm Carmen Chow. We begin with a weather watch tonight. What is left of Ian now swirling to our south, leaving us with some clouds, gusty winds, and a few showers. Here is meteorologist Ryan Breton joining us right now. Hey, Ryan.
Hi, Carmen. Hi, everybody. As we were talking about a lot of this week, the bulk of the moisture associated with what was once Ian really staying to our south. And you can see off the coast a lot of thunderstorms actually tonight, but all of that action far away from Connecticut. The only action near us at the moment is off the coast of Block Island right now, and this is not coming up in our direction at all. So the rest of the night likely to be dry here on land in the state of Connecticut. Temperatures dropping down into the 50s overnight, 40s in some of the cooler spots in the Litchfield Hills with a cloudy sky and a noticeable breeze out of the northeast. And that breeze will be with us all day long tomorrow, and we'll also have a lot of clouds tomorrow. So the temperature is not warming up much. Highs tomorrow only in the 50s to around 60. And that's pretty much where we're staying the next few days. An unsettled few days ahead with the clouds and maybe a couple of showers at times, but most of the time will wind up being dry. There is a bit of a warm up coming though. I'll let you know when it arrives and whether there's any more substantial rain to come. We'll see you in just a little while.
Ryan, thank you. The cleanup is underway after Hurricane Ian left a path of destruction in parts of South Carolina. Crews are cleaning up debris that washed ashore from the partially collapsed Cherry Grove Pier in North Myrtle Beach. The storm knocked down sections of 4 piers along the South Carolina coast, including 2 connected to the popular tourist town of Myrtle Beach.
So amazing to think of something that powerful could do so much damage. And it was just Hurricane 1, you know, and I just can't even imagine the people in Florida what they're going through. It's just heartbreaking. It really is.
Ian made landfall Saturday afternoon as a Category 1 hurricane near Georgetown, which is a small community about 60 miles north of historic Charleston. A couple in Pawleys Island, South Carolina, recording this video from inside their garage. Flooding from Storm Ian forcing them to get creative using kayaks to get around. The storm pummeling the low country with heavy rainfall, strong winds, and storm surge. Pawleys Island Police Department warning residents that the flooding has been, quote, catastrophic. One lucky pup is carried to safety after her home was threatened by waist-high floodwaters caused by Storm Ian. The rescue happened in Litchfield Beach, South Carolina, just 3 miles north of Pawleys Island. A rescue crew member carried the golden retriever through floodwaters and into the safety of a truck. The dog's owner followed closely behind. Meanwhile, Florida is still feeling the impacts. Fort Myers and Sanibel Island in southwest Florida among the hardest hit communities this week by Hurricane Ian. The city and island completely devastated by Ian's Category 4 winds and devastating storm surge. Fox's Alexandria Hoff has the latest.
Here in Fort Myers, cars have been lined up as far as the eye can see, and this has been the case since 7 a.m. That's when this distribution site opened up. It's one of 8 throughout the county, providing free water, ice, and food items. We spoke with several people who loaded up.
I just moved here from Colorado, and I'm not feeling very well at all. No water, no electricity. It's been very difficult.
We just got power about 6 this morning, but we still don't have water.
Let me tell you, it wasn't fun. It was nerve-wracking, but thank God we're alive. God is good all the time.
The gratitude comes from understanding just how much could have been lost, even outside of the homes, completely leveled in many cases. Satellite images from NOAA show this gripping before and after Fort Myers Beach. We are told that rescue and recovery efforts continue, and officials fear the death toll is likely to climb. Sanibel Island remains inaccessible by road, so responders there have relied on boats and helicopters. Here's Sanibel Mayor Holly Smith.
I can tell you that one of our public works people that's one of the first responders out there, he said that he was at Hurricane Katrina for 6 months, and this is much worse. Honestly, it is very fair to say, and we know and we are informing the residents, this is a long-term recovery process, and this is not a place that is habitable at this time, and likely won't be for a while.
Just over the causeway on Fort Myers mainland, we met with Brian Bianchi, who surveyed what little was left of his mobile home. He told us he had to flee when floodwaters reached his waist.
I was just going to go anywhere but here, because I was stuck in a trailer and the water was rising. It must have raised to like 12 feet at least inside.
Bianchi told us that he went outside of his trailer, waded in the waters till he got to somewhat higher ground, and then was saved by a passing motorist. In Fort Myers, Florida, Alexandria Hoff, Fox News.
We're on top of all things Hurricane Ian. For the latest on its path and how it could impact Connecticut, download our free Fox 61 News app. A Hamden man is dead after a crash on Circular Avenue yesterday afternoon. Police say 76-year-old Harry Brunson was killed in the accident happening around 3 p.m. He was taken to Yale New Haven Hospital, where he later died. Circular Avenue was closed for several hours while police investigated. No word on what led up to that crash. 2 students were arrested for their alleged involvement in a reported racist and threatening video that made its way around Summers High School. Police say the video was not made at the school, but was circulated among several students and contained demeaning racial slurs. State police say a thorough investigation found 2 juvenile students were found to be involved in the video and its distribution. The first student has been issued a juvenile summons. Charges for the second student are still pending. And new tonight, we've received a statement from the interim superintendent who says in part, quote, "We are taking all available steps to deal with the situation and to ensure the safety of our students." They went on to say student services personnel will be available to students in the coming days. Watertown police are looking for a man who they say could be responsible for multiple robberies. A little after 7 p.m. last night, police got reports of a robbery at an Oakville liquor store. That's where witnesses say the male suspect pressed a handgun to a victim and robbed another customer before leaving. And then just down the street, another Oakville liquor store was robbed just 8 minutes later. Police say the suspect could have possibly fled in a small white SUV. And it doesn't stop there. Investigators are working with law enforcement from Waterbury and Naugatuck to look into a possible connection between these robberies and other incidents that happened in the neighboring towns. One attempted and one successful armed robbery took place on Baldwin Street in Waterbury around 7, and a third on North Main Street just after 8. And this all happened after 2 stores were also robbed in Naugatuck closer to 6 p.m. on Rubber Avenue and New Haven Road. Police sharing this photo of the suspect they believe to be involved, and anyone with information about this case should call police. New tonight, Hartford police are investigating a shooting that happened this afternoon. Police say they were called to Winter Street just before 4 p.m. There they found a man in his 20s with a gunshot wound. Police say he was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. He is currently listed in stable condition and no word on any suspects. The incident is still under investigation. Also new tonight, Bloomfield police are investigating after a 14-year-old was shot. Police say they responded to a home on Tyler Street after a caller reported an accidental discharge of a gun. When the officers arrived, they found a 14-year-old with a gunshot wound to the leg. 2 other juveniles on scene told police a man wearing all black came into the home, shot the teen, and then left. Police did a sweep of the home and no one else was found inside the home. The teen is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Police are still investigating what exactly happened. Dozens of new laws go into effect in Connecticut today. The laws are part of legislation that lawmakers updated or passed in 2021 and 2022. Fox 61's Alicia Machado is at the state capitol in Hartford with a closer look at the new laws and what locals think about them. Alicia?
The new laws surround topics from vehicle theft to laws protecting animals from abuse. Most folks we spoke with tonight heard of the laws for the first time today, but say they're glad to hear progress is being made in the state. 80 new laws go into effect in Connecticut on October 1st, from stricter animal regulations to new juvenile crime laws. Among the new laws, an act requiring background checks for youth camp employees and youth sports coaches. Staff members ages 18 and up must get background checks, including checks of criminal history, sex offender registry, and child abuse registry, if they apply for positions that work with children. Comprehensive background checks must also be completed every 5 years. Katie Frisola from West Hartford manages a summer camp and shared her thoughts with us about the new legislation.
And you want to know who you're hiring and kind of what's in their background and make sure that everyone you're bringing into your camp community is a safe person to have on campus.
Another law requires online dating services to notify Connecticut users if they conduct criminal background checks on their members. Also on the books, June 19th or Juneteenth will be recognized as an official state holiday starting June 19th, 2023. Juneteenth is already a federal holiday and recognizes the emancipation of slaves in the United States.
I'm half black and half white. My heritage is, it makes me proud. I think it's a good thing.
While there may be 80 new laws, a lot of them are focusing specifically on things that our communities have voiced to us as being important.
Over the past year, communities across Connecticut have raised their voices about juvenile crimes and vehicle theft. Among the new laws, legislation requiring juveniles who are arrested to appear before a judge within 5 days of their arrest. Juveniles could also be placed under electronic monitoring if they are repeat offenders of vehicle or property theft. Under the new laws, motor vehicle larceny offenders could also face higher fines. In Hartford, Alicia Machado, Fox 61 News.